Hey everyone! Welcome back to TechVerse Reviews. Today we're diving deep into the brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max and asking the question, is it really worth the upgrade or just another incremental refresh? We've tested the camera, battery, performance, and that all-new titanium frame, so stick around because this review isn't just hype, it's the real deal. In a new post for CNET, Tiffany Connors writes about the possible variations. I've previously written that I am sure that the Apple keynote that reveals the phones will be on Tuesday, September 9th, though one day either side is also likely. The new report also homes in on the week before, saying that Wednesday, September 3rd is also likely. Historically, Apple has made the announcement on the first Tuesday of September after Labor Day, according to CNET senior editor Patrick Holland, who's reviewed mobile phones for a decade. However, the first Tuesday in 2025 is the day after Labor Day, so Apple could push the dates for its iPhone event to Wednesday, September 3rd, or Tuesday, September 9th. That would mean a release date of September 12th or 19th, Holland said, CNET claims. This is interesting because it's one of the first reports that suggests September 3rd as the keynote date. I absolutely agree that if the release is in the first week of September, then it certainly won't be on the Tuesday because of Labor Day. However, lovely though it would be to see the new phones earlier rather than later, I believe Apple will avoid this week. Not least, the large-scale Consumer Electronics Show, IFA, is happening that week in Berlin. This is a big event, on the same scale as or bigger than the annual CES in Las Vegas. Apple will not want to shout above the noise of so much happening in the same week. But CNET raises something else. In previous years, Apple has staggered the release dates of its products, even though the unveiling has happened on the same day. The iPhone XR arrived several weeks after the iPhone XS and iPhone XS Max in 2018, and the iPhone 12 mini landed almost a month after the iPhone 12 in 2020. Since at least one of the phones, the iPhone 17 Air, is a completely new design, could it be a later arrival than the others? There have been no reports of this yet, and it's worth noting that at least 3 of the 4 phones are expected to have completely new designs this year. Even so, at this point, it can't be ruled out. Alex Lee, senior tech critic at The Independent, has also weighed in on the release date, saying that it's easy to predict the release date for the iPhone 17, before adding, I'm expecting Apple to unveil the iPhone 17 sometime between the 8th and the 10th of September, most likely on Tuesday, September 9th, with pre-orders going live on Friday, September 12th. Lee also says this could be the biggest shakeup in years for Apple, commenting on the new slim iPhone to be added to the range and significant upgrades to cameras. Other sources seem also to be focusing on similar dates. A report at MSN says that the iPhone 27 release date has been confirmed. It really hasn't, before honing in on the thought that, according to recent reports, Apple's iPhone 17 keynote will most likely take place on September 3rd or 9th, which doesn't sound like confirmation at all. Nevertheless, it shows that the expected dates are in the same range, and leave me to believe that September 9th is the day. If all 4 iPhones are set to be released on the same date, then pre-orders will almost certainly open on the Friday after the keynote, that is, Friday, September 12th, unless the announcement is the week before. However, if any of the handsets are delayed by more than a week or 2, expect pre-orders to open later for those models. My gut tells me that if there's any delay, it will be brief. One other wrinkle to look out for, sometimes Apple allows customers to put the iPhone of their choice, model, storage capacity, color, into their online shopping bag the night before the online sales go live. That way, the next day, they're ready to press the buy button the first moment they can. We'll know soon if that's the case this year. And as for the time, that is to be confirmed, but if Apple follows precedent, it will likely be about 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Pacific, or whatever that works out to be in your time zone. If the iPhones are unveiled on September 9th or around that date, then reviews from national press will appear the following week, before the phones go on sale. Most likely, these will appear on Tuesday, September 16th or Wednesday, September 17th, with the time to be confirmed. Previously, this has been at 6 a.m. Pacific. Assuming the iPhones are unveiled on or around Tuesday, September 9th, the actual on-sale date will be the following week. Apple always favors Fridays to put its flagship iPhones to go on sale, which will mean Friday, September 19th. Right now, that seems sure to be the date to mark in your calendar. As for the time, that is usually early in the morning wherever you are. So, if you're in New Zealand, you'll be able to pick up the phone in your local Apple store much sooner than in Los Angeles, say, thanks to the time difference. In recent years, economic uncertainties have driven industrial companies to seek out new streams of revenue, ones that aren't subject to the vagaries of supply chains, extreme weather, and geopolitical matters. For many, that new stream has been aftermarket services. Providing services outside of the pressures involved in equipment production and sales is what makes aftermarket sales so attractive and profitable. The average operating margin from aftermarket services globally is 2 to 3 times higher than the operating margin from new equipment sales. And with digital technologies and smart operations driving new opportunities and demands for customer service, now is a good time for industrial companies to explore or expand aftermarket services. Aftermarket sales can satisfy the expectation of customer centricity. With the proliferation of smart technologies, customer experience and seamless interactions are table stakes for any business-to-consumer, B2C, enterprise, and that approach is increasingly extending itself to the business-to-business, B2B, market. And with good reason. 88% of customers say the experience a company provides is as important as the product itself. Even more compelling, customer-focused organizations report a 49% increase in sales or revenue, a 45% increase in profitability, and a 70% increase in customer loyalty and satisfaction. One of the ways to build out customer centricity, and therefore aftermarket services, is connectivity. That is, assets that are connected through digital technologies such as the Internet of Things, IoT, sensors, machine learning, ML, artificial intelligence, AI, and generative AI, Gen AI, most of which manufacturers have already incorporated into their operations. But these technologies can take aftermarket services to new levels. According to a Deloitte Consulting LLP survey, 70% of companies that have implemented digital solutions improved their customer experience. Drawing on these technologies can enable industrial companies to develop a connected aftermarket, which can extend the value chain beyond the factory to the full life cycle of the product. It can connect vast networks of assets, people, and materials to create an integrated system that is in a better position to offer good customer experience. Working like a B2C in a B2B environment is likely a new world for many industrial companies. They often don't have the data, due to legacy systems and siloed operations, to understand their customers and can lose track of a product once it's sold. Industrial companies' linear mindset based on traditional production lines can make it hard to stand up aftermarket services, which don't necessarily fit into a predictable sequence. This also means there can be an overall lack of experience in building out customer-centric solutions. To deliver aftermarket services that offer the customer centricity of a B2C and take advantage of today's connected and advanced technologies, industrial companies should consider the following actions. Fuel growth by focusing on customer needs. Industrial companies do not always take post-sale customer needs, expectations, and buying behaviors into account. Developing a connected aftermarket can close the loop between traditional front office and aftermarket operations by challenging manufacturers to think like B2C companies in curating leads and sales opportunities. Creating a seamless, connected customer experience also means recognizing that the experience doesn't end with the sale of a product, but can be shaped by that product's post-sale performance. Predict, plan, and position for execution. Once industrial companies understand customer needs, they will likely need the ability to allocate resources, accommodate capacity fluctuations, coordinate their supply networks, and right-size their inventory management and distribution in response to those needs. Thanks to technologies such as advanced sensors, analytics models, machine learning, and Gen AI, industrial companies can now gain greater insights from their data, enabling them to proactively detect potential part failures and predict maintenance. Data also enables manufacturers to plan how much capacity to set aside for production versus aftermarket services and position resources accordingly. Optimize execution and dynamically adjust. To build a robust aftermarket and meet customer expectations, Industrial companies should adjust forecasts and plans according to field conditions, as well as customer needs and buying behaviors. By leveraging advanced statistical models and AI capabilities, a connected aftermarket can enable manufacturers to embed aftermarket operations and decisions into their core business operations. And with a smart factory foundation, the connected aftermarket can also help industrial companies adjust workflow schedules based on the real-time availability of key resources, e.g., parts, people, tools, work centers, etc. Digital technologies such as IoT, sensors, machine learning, and Gen AI have fueled the proliferation of smart operations in manufacturing and continue to drive gains in productivity and efficiency. These technologies and the aftermarket service they enable can help industrial companies form a buffer while offering an improved customer experience, which could lead to loyalty. Fall is fast approaching, and that means Apple's big iPhone 17 launch event is coming soon. Here are 3 new features of the iPhone 17 line that many users have long been asking for. Battery life is one of the most important iPhone features. As a result, there's always a base of users who just want the most possible battery life in an iPhone. Pro Max models have long been the best option for battery, but this year, that will be more true than ever. Apple is reportedly making iPhone 17 Pro Max even thicker than last year's model for the sole purpose of adding a larger battery. If you've always wanted the most possible battery life and don't mind a bulky, heavy iPhone, the iPhone 17 Pro Max will make your wish come true. If a thicker, heavier iPhone is the opposite of what you want, Apple also has you covered this year. iPhone 17 Air is a brand new, ultra-thin model that will sacrifice some battery for the sake of a futuristic-feeling design. After years of iPhone designs that have stayed largely the same, iPhone 17 Air will offer something flashy and new. It's the kind of new model that could spark that once common question: is that the new iPhone? The Air model won't be for everyone, but for those wanting something fresh and different, iPhone 17 Air should be it. Ever since promotion debuted in the iPhone 14 Pro, it's always been exclusive to Pro models. That means if you want a high refresh rate, always on iPhone display, you have to go Pro. But rumors indicate that's finally changing this year, with promotion support expected for the entire iPhone 17 lineup. So whether you opt for a base iPhone 17, the new iPhone 17 Air, or of course the Pro models, you won't have to settle for losing always on or a high refresh rate display. There are, of course, tons more new features coming to the iPhone 17 lineup. From the A19 and A19 Pro chip to an upgraded 24MP TrueDepth camera, new 48MP telephoto, increased RAM, and a lot more. No matter which model you're leaning toward, Apple's iPhone 17 lineup should offer something compelling for everyone. Do you plan to upgrade to an iPhone 17 this year? Why or why not? Let us know in the comments. Best iPhone accessories. Number 1, AirPods Pro 2, now only $199, down from $249. Number 2, MagSafe car mount for iPhone. Number 3, HomeKit Smart Plug 4-pack. Number 4, 10-year AirTag battery case 2-pack. Number 5, 100W USB-C fast charging power adapter. At 9to5's family of sites, we make great efforts to be a top influencer in the tech community by consistently breaking exclusive news and being the first to report information our readers care about. We deliver breaking information in digestible format peppered with commentary, wit, and a deep understanding of the subject matter. It isn't enough to just inform. Our posts strive to be interesting, entertaining, and complemented with compelling, high-quality media. 9to5 sites are consistently at the top of tech memes leaderboards and cited by publications like The New York Times, The Washington Post, The Wall Street Journal, The Financial Times, Bloomberg, and many others. Our reporters have won numerous awards and recognitions for their journalism. 9to5 sites use industry-standard AdSense ads and offer sponsored posts to companies interested in reaching our readership through long-form articles rather than banners. Sponsored posts are always clearly marked as such, represent the views of their sponsors, and improve the site experience for readers by allowing us to remove some traditional banner ads. 9to5 reviewers are never paid for reviews, but we often receive free temporary or permanent review units and complimentary instruction on usage. We only run reviews of hardware and software that we deem interesting to our audience and worth looking at. This is the reason you don't often see poor reviews on 9 to 5 sites. If we review something we don't like or find interesting, we usually won't post it. We don't want to waste your time. We use affiliate links whenever possible. 9 to 5 sites run software that adds affiliate tags to any outside linking as a revenue-generating mechanism. You support 9 to 5 by using our links to buy products. 9 to 5 Mac, 9 to 5 Google, and 9 to 5 Toys, Electrek, Drone DJ, and Space Explored are also a participant in the Amazon Services LLC Associates Program, an affiliate advertising program designed to provide a means for sites to earn advertising fees by advertising and linking to Amazon.com. 9 to 5 Toys is a gear, shopping deals, and news site where we aim to be first to post original news on new gadgets and notable price drops. 9 to 5 Toys also aggregates relevant technology deals from leaders in this industry, including Stack Social and others. So, is the iPhone 17 Pro Max worth it? If you're on a 15 or 16, maybe not. But for those of you still holding on to an older model, this might just be your moment. If this review helped you, drop a like, hit subscribe, and share it with someone who's on the fence. We're pushing for 10K subs, 100,000 views, and 4,000 hours of watch time, and every click gets us closer. Thanks for watching TechVerse Reviews, and I'll catch you in the next one.